Got me feeling right back.
Hey guys, it's Maverick from Daily Dose Gaming, bringing you some information about Assassin's Creed Odyssey revealed at E3 just last weekend. Right off the bat, it is revealed that you can choose to be two different characters, with the male being named Alexios and a female named Cassandra. This is a first in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I can't wait for games like this in the future to include the choice of many different types of characters that could alter what happens to the story in game. However, these characters are just for visuals and have no real effect on what happens. Now, at the beginning of the gameplay trailer at E3, you arrive at a place called Mykonos City on an island called Mykonos in Greece as a mercenary for hire. Upon landing, you meet up with an older man that offers to hire you to overthrow the government and a man named Theocles, because everyone who fights against him, quote unquote, never make it back. So obviously he's going to be a tough guy to beat, and he'll probably be one of the final boss battles of the game. This is also where we see that you'll be able to change up the story a little bit depending on your decisions with the use of interactive dialogue, which is also new to the franchise. Now, with games like this that use open dialogue, I'm always kind of curious, because at the same time, I don't know, you never know if you can really see all the different types of endings. Now, I'm hoping there's just a few set endings, and then it'll just kind of round off to one of them based on the way you make decisions. But I'm hoping there's just not 1,000 different endings, because then at that point it's just kind of you want to go back and replay it again, but there's just so many endings. It's just at the time you never know. The announcer says that the combat is more about being quicker by parrying and being on offense most of the time, rather than by blocking and playing defensively like in the past games. So if you were like me, you would usually just try and block all the time, and then eventually, catch them with a counter attack or something like that, or a quick little hit or something to knock them off balance, and then you'd go in for the heavy hits. But this game, it's more about getting out of the way of the hits and doing all that kind of stuff, getting around your opponent, trying to find a more strategic advantage. Many enemies you will face will probably be mercenaries, Athenian soldiers, and possibly even Spartan soldiers, depending on if you want to betray them later in the game, which I believe is possible. Also on the battlefield, you will encounter enemies with special abilities that you will need to counter against to get the winning edge. You often get upgrades when you kill mercenaries and those enemies, as well as earning a type of street cred. One of the side stories is about becoming one of the most feared mercenaries in the world. Now back to the upgrades. The customization is really familiar to that of Destiny's customization, where you will have 5 pieces to customize the suit to your style. You also have abilities you can unlock like the rest of the game in the franchise. 2 of the categories are Warrior and Assassin, with which the Warrior abilities will be more about the nitty-gritty, blunt combat, while the Assassin abilities will be more about stealthy tactics. And you can also sort of program the buttons in a way so that you can put certain ability, like the Assassin abilities, on the right in the upper or in the top of the D-pad, and then Warrior in the left and the bottom of the D-pad, which I think is really cool, because then you can kind of customize it the way you feel fit and which way works better. And then you can also put a different combination of many different Assassin abilities or Warrior abilities, like 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, you know what I'm saying? So for my favorite part of the intel that we gathered, there will be fights called conquest battles, where hundreds of soldiers will battle it out until one side wins. These are like what you would see in the movie 300 or any other ancient Greek movies. In order to win, you not only have to kill most of the other side's enemies, but you also have to take out as many of the higher ranked soldiers as well, like the ones with special abilities or others that are like officers in the military. So these would kind of help you gain advantage, more points to your counter in order to win. And I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely can't wait to get my hands on the game just for those conquest battles. Because all the time, like, I always think about like the huge battles where there's like hundreds of soldiers like put together and they're all like fighting to the death with their swords and stuff like that. I always thought those scenes were awesome in the movies. And like honestly, I might just get the game just to play those battles. I'm not gonna lie. Alright guys, that will conclude the intel that we have gathered about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We out.